Welcome back to the channel. You're now listening to the Date Master as we get into another epic breakdown of just some game. And again, like I said, 90% of my content is going to be for male, I won't say male help, but male advancement, male elevation. Because we are a weak male race. In this land called America, the black man in particular, we're very weak. And this is intentional. This is by design. When you just think about this before I get into the spiel. I'm glad I used LeBron James as the thumbnail. Let's take another look into another world. Let's say you had guys who let's say LeBron, Shaquille O'Neal, Karl Malone, Dwight Howard, these giants that possess all of this strength and power, Reggie White, Antonio Gates. Let's say if these men all walked around with the mentality of Huey P. Newton or Dr. Khalid Muhammad, I believe we would be in a totally different world. But when you see guys like Shaq and LeBron, very nice guys, not knocking it, but nice is not a reward. You don't get credit for being nice. I don't know who told you did, but you don't. You get credit for being an asshole and being real. But to most people, the truth, being real, is offensive. If you had Karl Malone, Dwight Howard, all linked up with the Huey P. Newton mindset when it comes to the black community, none of this shit you see going on will be going on when you have a Shaquille O'Neal walking up to you with the aggression and the veracity of a man who's serious about his people. LeBron James, 6'8", 290, 6'9", 290, 280 that run like a deer. If he had the veracity, the aggressiveness when it like a Huey P. Newton, it would be totally different. But that's another subject for another day. But I want to talk about, for you ladies that get it, you do know feminine, and I put this word submissive in quotation because there's all kind of misconceptions. See, you want to know how communication gets misconstrued or misconstrued? It is because we don't know the meaning of words. If you ever have spoken with someone and what you stated came off offensive, they'll hit you with, it's how you said it. No, you don't comprehend and don't know the definition of words when you speak or when you're listening to someone speak. You just don't know the definition of the words being used. Or you have a misinterpretation of the definition, like the word submission. Submission is not a, what's the word I want to say? It is not a sentence. It is not a guilty verdict. The word submissive is not an insult. Submission is power because it puts things into perspective. Now, women think it as a man domineering, controlling the woman based upon some type of benefit given. The submissive woman is basically allowing the man to lead and allowing him to lay out the foundation for things to work. See, we have a microwave mentality. You see the broken homes in the black community. These women don't understand. You guys don't get it, and you have not gotten it. And let's just break. And I'm gonna get into another area. Let's look at the Christian woman, because this submissive word in the Bible, all of these are related. And I'm not a Christian, but I can see some truths in the book. I can see some of the knowledge. But you'll have Christian women talking about I'm a Christian and things of that nature, but be scream in the same breath, screaming, "You're misogynist. You're bashing women." That lets me know their level of IQ and their level of study at that very moment. Because if you claim yourself to be a Christian and a Bible thumper, the Bible is one of the most misogynistic books ever written. But I know women don't know this because I know they haven't read the book. But they will claim and sit up and play church and Christian, and they haven't read 20% of the Bible. The Bible is one of the most misogynistic books ever written. That's why I do not argue with you. That's why I do not go back and forth. We do not debate, because I know you don't put the level of study that I put in and that other scholars or men that are scholars have put in when it comes to religion, social engineering, socioeconomics. Uh, I know you haven't put in any work because work is that takes away from your beauty process. That takes away from you getting attention, right? That takes away from you being able to take the selfies and shit all day, right? So we know that's not the case. But the word submissive is usually taken as an insult by most black women. You'll have black women talking about a man has to be 6'10", make 300K a year, minimal, looks like Adonis. But you'll have the Mexican and the Asian and the Indian woman submitting with their men, and they look nothing like that, what the black woman describes in this land. Isn't that crazy? That the Mexican can come across the border, clean bathrooms. He may get his lawn business. He may use the job to fund his lawn care service. And his woman will be very compliant and patient as this process goes on and takes place and runs its course. He doesn't have to be 9 feet tall. He doesn't have to drive a S-Class. This is why our race is doomed. And I'm all for it because in a lot of cases, some things cannot be repaired or fixed. They have to be destroyed. But when you speak like this, most black men have been made weak and docile. Again, this is on purpose. And the women have been made foolish. So they chase these delusions. You have 48-year-old women talking about, I'm waiting on Mr. Right. I deserve a high value man and all this type of shit. That's like me saying I'm 46 and I want to go to the NBA. It is pure nonsense. So I advise men that have wisdom. It is a very rare occasion if you find a woman and she's of good character. She's she has the traits that you can build and extend your lineage with. Put the effort into her because you won't find too many more after her. They're going to be very, very rare. And you have to be rare to meet them because you weed out. You as a man, the more you grow, the more wisdom you gain, the more knowledge and the more ambition that you have to be very, very selective and very picky about the women you lay with. You have to be very picky and very strategic on who deserves that energy from you because the wrong woman will wreck your dreams if you let it take place, if you're foolish and thinking with the small head. But a woman that is feminine, submissive, beautiful, she controls her men simply because it is in our nature to acquiesce to balance. Meaning, if someone was to come through the house, it is my instinct to get up and go and defend it and protect you with my life. It is my instinct. So it is in our instincts as men to, again, acquiesce and to level up to certain women that extract the best out of us. You'll be a fool to not acknowledge that. There are some women that will bring out great things, ideas, endurance. They're going to bring out a lot of great qualities in you. The women that bring out the bad, mostly bad qualities, everything is not going to be picture perfect, of course. But for the most part, if a woman brings out your negative side too much, you're constantly arguing, you're getting in your feelings, especially if it becomes physical, you're dealing with the wrong woman. She's not bringing out the best in you because you don't know what type of woman to pick that knows how to tap into that. And you should not be looking for a woman to bring out the best, but you must know the woman that does have the ability to bring out the best in you. So by default, he's going to see the value in his woman and he's going to do everything to protect that. It's the reason why you don't see LeBron James in headlines cheating, going to the club, smoking, getting caught up in scandals. It is a reason for that. There's a reason. So Savannah James know that me playing my role keeps him in his role. Even if he was to go out, you're not going to have a son. You're not going to have a grass eating line. Okay, he may have cheated or cheat on the low, but he does it with tact and respect to make sure that it does not sabotage his home or it does not affect his presence at home. The right woman, when she finds out that she has a man and what he's capable of, if she doesn't get in pocket, she thinks of him as disposable, and she's going to get another and another and another, because now women view men as disposable. But the most intelligent women, they don't sit back and argue. I said this to my dad the other day. I said, if I was a doctor, or let's say not a doctor, because women, they respect certain titles when it comes to their life and their health, etc. If I was a man and I said, hey, listen, let's say if I was a physician, but I'm not in the doctor setting, she doesn't know I'm a doctor. And I say, hey, please, ma'am, you need to stand here for 30 minutes or you're going to die. You need to just stand here for 30 minutes. If I don't give her the idea or the perception that I am better, more knowledgeable, I'm in a superior place in life than she is, she hasn't ran in 30 years. She'll try her best to run a 40-yard dash in 4 flat just to undermine me as a man. And she'll die. She'll die proving her point before she listened to a man that's directing her the right way. This is the foolishness of most modern women. Most black women today, they do not respect their men because we haven't given them anything to respect. And in the attempt that we do, we have to fight we have to fight white supremacy and, well, I would say the black woman being conditioned in the manner that she is, that is white supremacy. It's just engulfed under that umbrella. It falls under that umbrella. We have to fight. You see Black Wall Street. They say, well, you haven't built anything. Well, what was Black Wall Street? And then there was another one in North Carolina. So when we do get things off of the ground as Black Wall Street and other movements, you see white supremacy come and destroy it. Do you not? You see white supremacy come and destroy, taint the water, taint the education, taint the community with poison, the war, i.e. the war on drugs. So we have to fight a uphill battle because the women have been turned against us. So when you hear women say you haven't built anything, well, now is it worth building something when you have been fully conditioned to disrespect and hate us no matter what position we're in, or to look at us as disposable no matter what position or value we provide to you? Why would we continue to build when it won't be appreciated or when it will be destroyed yet again? But when you look at this dynamic between men and women, you have to ask yourself, how did we get here? Feminism, okay. Egalitarianism, okay. Tyler Perrying, giving these, the imagery controls perception and thought. So if I constantly see a black man being portrayed as not shit, non-ambitious, out of shape, destructive, I'm going to look at him with a certain disdain after a while because I am going to be conditioned to view him as nothing other than that. So if I do see a black male that's a doctor, physician, professional, and he talks with a certain dialect, oh, he's an Oreo, oh, he want to be white, aka he wants to be better than us. So he's also discarded from the selection pool. But you guys let me know what you think about this issue here. Do you believe that feminine and quote unquote submissive women hold the keys to their men and his loyalty to her or his ambition? Do you believe that it is the opposite? That a man is going to be what he is no matter what woman comes into his life? But like, comment, subscribe. It's the Date Master.